What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, ID, TikTok on the video. I'm just gonna hop right into it. So, today we will be talking about Lil Zay Osama. If you clicked on this video, you probably know Lil Zay Osama, but if you don't, most famous son is F My Cousin with Lil Durk. That joint one of them, but my man Lil Zay Osama has got himself in trouble because he has got picked up by the feds. Good Lord Almighty, him and 6 other his associates. Looking at it, it says they got co-conspirators, so they got a snitch. And it ain't looking good. So we just finna hop into the details, man. It says a federal grand jury in Chicago has indicted 6 men on robbery and kidnapping offenses for allegedly participating in a violent home invasion. And well, let me look up how to say that, because last time I ain't look up how to say something, they was killing me, and I was like, it's really not that serious. In Winnetka, Illinois. So obviously, you know, he's from Chicago himself. So Winnetka and, you know, like the heart of Chicago are about 25 minutes. If you on the north side, probably even closer. So, you know, another regular Chicago suburb. So, like I said, a 7th offender was arrested this morning and federal charges are forthcoming against him. Working with his law enforcement partners, the Chicago U.S. Attorney's Office obtained court-authorized arrest warrants within 12 days of the home invasion, but kept the warrants under seal while it continues to obtain evidence to identify and arrest additional offenders. It said a superseding indictment unsealed today in U.S. District Court charges Deshaun Brown, 24 of Chicago, David Franklin, 24 of Chicago, Anthony Ramsey, 22 of Chicago, Isaiah Dukes, 28 of Los Angeles, California. That's Lil Zay Osama. Khalil Dukes, 30 of Elgin, Illinois, and Jalen Chambers, 24 of Bourbonnais, Illinois, with conspiracy to commit robbery and kidnapping in connection with the alleged home invasion which occurred in Winnetka, I think that's how I said it, on the afternoon of March 8th, 2026. So this is kind of relatively quick for a federal investigation. They basically got them all within a month and a half. Actually, the first ones they got within 2 weeks, so crazy. But it says Brown, Ramsey, and Franklin were taken into federal custody on March 22nd, 2026, while Isaiah Dukes, Lil Zay Osama, Khalil Dukes, and Chambers were taken into federal custody on April 10th, 2026. All 6 defendants charged in superseding indictment have been ordered detained pending trial. They have pleaded not guilty to the charges. So they're going to tell you how it was co-conspirators later. But them getting picked up on different dates kind of led me to know somebody was talking. Because, as we're going to see later, Lil Zay Osama was not on the scene, but you're going to see how he got involved. So it says a 7th offender was arrested this morning and a criminal complaint will be submitted to the court for his alleged role in the home invasion. According to the superseding indictment, Brown posed as a food delivery driver to cause an individual in the residence to open the front door. Armed with loaded firearms, Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and 2 other co-conspirators then forcibly entered the residence. Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and the 2 other co-conspirators, that's why I said snitches, kept the individual in the residence captive for approximately an hour and used firearms to physically restrain the victim. The charges alleged the captors demanded access to a safe, computer, and online accounts holding cryptocurrency, the indictment states. One thing what made me wonder, when you said co-conspirators, so I'm pretty sure that means it was really 9 of them involved. Another thing, I mean, obviously, you know, they probably felt like they were in a safe area being north of Chicago, but you know, if you know you didn't order no food, I just wouldn't open the door. I wouldn't take no chances, but to each his own. Second, I wonder, I'm questioning what made them target these individuals. Did they know they had the safe and cryptocurrency? Had they been casing them? Is there something else that had led to them individuals? Because if y'all don't remember, this is the 2nd OTF member in the last year that has got arrested for some shit like this. OTF Boona got arrested for doing a home invasion, but with that one, the guy was like a big time, like not big time, but he was a drug dealer with a lot of weight on him, and you know, he ended up unaliving the dude and leaving him in a church parking lot. So this is not the first time it's happened last year, but so I don't know if I don't think it's that situation. I feel like these may have been civilians, but we'll figure out later. So it says the co-conspirators eventually fled the scene, later meeting up with Isaiah Duke, Khalil Dukes, Ramsey, and other co-conspirators who searched Brown, Franklin, and additional co-conspirators to ensure that all the proceeds from the robbery were collected, the indictment states. Like I said, Isaiah Dukes, so Lil Zay Osama was not on the scene, but they met up with him later. And it says additional co-conspirators. The only thing about that now, if they somehow get, obviously they're in jail, but if they somehow get their hands on this, they're going to know exactly who the co-conspirators are. But, you know, last thing on this justice.gov page, the kidnapping conspiracy count is punishable by a maximum sentence of life in federal prison, while the robbery conspiracy count is punishment by up to 20 years. The public is reminded that indictment is not evidence of guilt. The defendants are presumed innocent and entitled to a fair trial, which the government has the burden of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That last sentence, just read that for the time. We know the rest of that. I mean, innocent to prove guilty. But where do we start, honestly? Like I said, co-conspirators, you already got a snitch. They obviously detailed everything about the plan. I wonder if, how they said they searched them, if that offended them and that's what caused them to tell. Or, somehow they hemmed them up first and then, they just released details. So, I mean, it's either one of those two. But, like I said, innocent to proven guilty. The only problem with this is that Lil Zay Osama has a kind of a recent history of this, even while he's been famous. I don't know if it's a money thing or Lil Zay Osama just got a scratch that he just got an itch. But if you don't remember, I don't remember the exact date, but Lil Zay Osama, it has to be within the last year and a half. Lil Zay Osama got accused of robbing some videographers, and what was so crazy about that is they laid out they had a yellow Lamborghini. So it might not be a money thing, honestly. It might not be a money thing if he's able to keep and afford a yellow Lamborghini, but yeah, we can. I'll try to put the news article in here. That, like I said, YouTube guidelines kind of changed, so if they try to demonetize my or like copyright my joint, I ain't going. But
two people have been arrested after luring two photographers to a fake music video and then pistol whipping them. This happened last night at a smoke shop on Melrose Avenue. Authorities say there were 8 suspects in total. After holding the photographers at gunpoint, the suspects took off in 2 cars, a yellow Lamborghini and a black BMW. Police did find the Lamborghini later in the San Fernando Valley, and that's when a pursuit started. The pursuit ended in Ventura County about 40 minutes later. The black BMW has not been found.
So yeah, it was March of last year. I was like, I knew it was sometime. But for this one, it was 2 people were arrested Thursday night for allegedly robbing 2 videographers at a fake music video set at Los Angeles smoke shop and then leading authorities on a pursuit. So obviously from there, they told the videographers to meet up. Oh yeah, we're gonna shoot a video. Yada yada yada. Rob them. So it says, according to the Los Angeles Police Department, officers responded to the Hoopsie smoke shop on Melrose Avenue around 9 p.m. The suspects had lured the videographers to a location under pressure they would be filming the music video. When the videographers arrived, the suspects held them at gunpoint and pistol whipped them, taking off with firearms and jewelry, police said. One of the victims lost several teeth, while the others suffered a cut to the head. Police said the suspects then took off in 2 separate vehicles, a yellow Lamborghini Urus and a black BMW. Police said they tracked down the Lamborghini about 30 minutes later in San Fernando Valley, and a chase ensued. The pursuit lasted about 40 minutes before it was handed off to the California Highway Patrol officers in Ventura. LAPD assisted Ventura County Sheriff's Deputy and CHP officers during the pursuit. Eventually, Ventura Sheriff deputies took 2 suspects into custody in Santa Rosa Valley. The 2 suspects weren't immediately identified. But this ended up being Lil Zay Osama. Only thing about this was funny as hell to me is, say, okay, yeah, you probably could eventually outrun them with a Lamborghini if you are great at driving. But you're in a fucking yellow Lamborghini. How many niggas do you think own them cars? Yes, in LA, it's probably more of a amount than I've ever seen in my life living in North Carolina. But it ain't. I don't think it's that many niggas with a shit. It's not like it's a Tesla or something nowadays. That motherfucker is a yellow Lamborghini. I just can't see that. My bad. I said all that just because that's what the headline was. But we have now, the reason there, this case has not went any further is because it got thrown out because, in the words of Lil Zay Osama in the Vlad TV interview, pretty sure I can't put the Vlad TV interview in here because he'll copyright that shit. But he said the 2 cameramen were actually the ones fighting. The whole, I don't know what the hell they was fighting about, but they was fighting. He, wasn't at the scene at the time he comes back to the scene. I guess, after they resolved it and all that, separated the two dudes. He leaves again, says they pulled him out of, he went home. They pulled him out of his bed in his home. And, yeah. So, that case, you know, seems to be over with because really you don't hear nothing else about it. But this one, it ain't looking too good for my boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. When the federal investigation come, when the feds come, you know, obviously, you know, the feds conviction rate thing I've talked about is not as, you know, as potent as people would like to make it be. A lot of the times it's that high because, you know, people, you know, take their pleas and you know, cop out. But I ain't gonna lie though, usually when they do come get you, they usually have a good amount of evidence. So, and like I said, they got co-conspirators. That's really the issue. Like, they look like two snitches. So yeah, bro, I'm hoping the best for my man Lil Zay Osama. He's probably even if he beat this case, it's probably gonna be a while. So shit, I'm hoping the best for bro. So that's really all I gotta say though. Like, share, subscribe, comment, ID to top bottom video, and we out.